Welcome back to another round of Bases Picks. As always, please like and subscribe and share with a friend, a colleague, a relative, an associate, an enemy, and anyone in between. It is all appreciated and it is all more than welcome. Leave your comments as well. Now, this is actually just going to be a basis pick because the only fight I remember is the George Kambosos versus Maxi Hughes. Now, I do know there is a card on Wasserman on Channel 5, I think tomorrow, but I don't remember who's really on it, and I'm literally rushing out the door to do something else. So unfortunately, I can only really give you guys my opinion on that one particular fight this week. But next week is going to be a big one, and that's actually going to take place from Tuesday. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Looking at this fight, so you've got George Ferocious Kambosos, aka I guess he'd be now what the former emperor of the division, as he called himself, against Maxi Hughes. Now Maxi Hughes is he's having a bit of an Indian summer. Like, he is one of those guys at this precise moment that seems to be on the up after having a pretty sort of mid to downwards trajectory in his career. I think he's now undefeated in his last 7 fights. It's between 7 and 9, one or the other, but he's definitely got all the momentum his side, whereas George Kambosos is coming off back-to-back defeats against Devin Haney, which clearly is no disgrace just based off of who he is. But that being said, I mean, he's taken a long time to get back into the ring, so it will kind of show us exactly what he's got left in the tank, how he's looking to, sort of restore his career. I know he said that he wants to have this fight and then go into a Shakur Stevenson fight afterwards, which to me would actually be a good route for him if he can look good here. But that's the question. How good can he look, and how good in fact is he? Was it just lightning in a bottle that produced the performance he showed against Teofimo Lopez? Was it Teofimo not being at the races, being just, I guess, a shell of himself, doing a whole bunch of stupid stuff outside of the ring prior? Did he take too long to try and shave himself back down to 135? All of these things now then became questions, but Kambosos showed, if for nothing else, he has got heart. He's not the kind of guy that's going to quit, no matter how much he's bleeding, no matter how much damage he's taking. He doesn't appear like the kind of guy that's going to take the knee or just look for a way out of the fight. So I feel like that will play well into his hands this weekend, because Maxi Hughes, who is a very nice tidy operator sort of at the British and European level, is not really up there at, or hasn't shown to be up there, I should say, at that world level at 135 at this point in time. He's also not that big of a puncher. He's got decent power, but nothing to write home about. He's kind of guy that kind of does everything, above average, but there's nothing that he excels in, but there's also nothing that he's very bad at. He's got very good defense, or I'd say, okay, decent defense. He's got decent footwork, decent movement, decent jab, decent right hand, and just the combinations in general. He's a bit of a counter puncher, not amazingly, but he will sort of wait for you to sort of make your move, and then he'll try and sort of time his entries off of you, which probably won't help him in this fight particularly, because Kambosos also likes to be a counter puncher. He likes to sort of get close, get the feet up close to his opponent, maybe throw that jab out there to tease them to try and throw something back at him, and then when they throw is when he normally tries to then unload a 2 or 3 punch combination to sort of catch them unawares. And if Maxi is not on point, he could definitely get sort of overcome with one of those salvos at the start, especially the first half of this fight. Now Kambosos is he's a very explosive puncher. He's quite quick with his punches. He's just not that heavy-handed, so it's like the punches you might feel them, but they don't necessarily cause you too much distress and damage until sort of maybe the later rounds, where accumulation starts to wear in and sort of wear on the opponent. So the way I kind of see this fight going is, I feel like it's going to be very, very nip and tuck at the start to sort of the start of it to sort of the mid rounds. I feel like conditioning wise, George Kambosos may be the I guess the better conditioned of the two. He just seems like I've never seen him like properly get tired in the fight. I've seen him maybe lose a bit of heart just from nothing necessarily working, but I've never seen him, you know, puffing, breathing really heavy on the stool, like trying to suck up oxygen. So I've got to assume that his cardio is gonna be on point for this particular bout. So yeah, without going too far into a deep dive, my decision is that I feel like Maxi Hughes needs this fight a lot more than George Kambosos does. So I feel like he's really going to come to make a statement and put it on George Kambosos. But I do think just because maybe they might see a little bit of additional mileage in Kambosos, I feel like he's going to do enough to eke out a split decision. I think Maxi Hughes is going to get it on one of the cards, and then Kambosos is going to get it on the other two. And I think that both is all going to be like 115, 113s, with a potential maybe 114, 113 type card if Maxi Hughes ends up sort of, you know, getting dropped to some occasion in between the fight. So yeah, my final prediction for this one is George Kambosos on a very close split decision, just about eking out the victory over Maxi Hughes and moving on to pastures new. And Maxi Hughes would have got the big American payday that he has been looking for. I don't know if it gets any better than that, but with George Kambosos being the IBO champion, I'm sure he can parlay that into a shot at maybe one of the other titles once Devin Haney vacates. So yeah, we will see what happens with that. Let me know your comments down below, and thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna head out of here because I've got some fish to fry. You'll find out what that means in a later video, but thank you very much for watching. And for right now, the Basis Pick locked.